everyone. Thanks so much for coming here tonight and attending Deb together, and also being patient with me while I figure out my whole setup. Okay. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here tonight to talk to you all about journaling, and hopefully this can be something useful for you to use either as you're going through the learning to code journey, or maybe you've already gotten that first role, or you already are in a role. I hope it applies to everyone. It's Brittney. You can find me on Twitter at MinTB, and currently I'm a software engineer at Adobo. My pronouns are she and her, and I just started at Adobo like 4 weeks ago, and this is currently my third role as a programmer in some capacity. I'm also a boot camp grad, and I switched into tech after working in customer service. Can you all hear me okay? I'm just hiding more and more. Okay, so you may be asking yourself, why are we talking about journaling? This is a tech meetup. This is not involving computers at all. And it's great that the first speaker today actually did mention about journaling. So I was like, yeah, that was something to enter on. When it comes to me, journaling is important because it's a way for you to document what you're learning, what you need to learn, and also how well are you doing at your job. So outside of those three, there are various other things that you're recognizing a need for and tracking and putting your thoughts down. So here's just a few examples about that. You have meetings, there's action items. There's always things that we're going to say we're going to follow up on, but are we staying mindful about that? How is a tech debt impacting your team or your company's performance? What are the reappearing bugs that keep coming up or while you're on call and you're experiencing? These are all things that are really ultimately available for you to journal about. And so I want to go ahead and break this down into just 3 areas to focus on tonight. So team retrospectives, just thinking about the team dynamics overall, your mid-year and end-of-year reviews, because as much as we want to avoid them, it's a fact of life, as well as setting your own goals, because you got here, you got the job, but that's not the end of the day, right? Like, there's still more that you want to do with your career. Now you may be thinking, this sounds like a lot, it sounds unnecessary, but if you take a moment and be honest with yourself, has there ever been a job where you shake hands and says, yes, I accept the offer, and every single day has been everything is clearly defined, this is great, and I know exactly what I want to do, and I want a team of 5 people, and we all handle the workload so evenly, and I know what I need to do to get promoted. Probably not. That's really not the case. Now, I'm not saying that, let's go ahead and let's riot. I don't think that we need to really get to that point, but, there are pros and cons to a job, and one of the cons is it's often pretty obfuscated about what we're doing. And no, journaling is not for some summer camp chumps. This is something that's going to be really impactful for you, that is helping to navigate all gamuts of your day-to-day job. And I think it's a really important benefit in a time where we're so interconnected, we're always consumed by technology, to be able to just take a moment, 5 minutes a day, just to be stepping away and just how can I reflect on what I'm doing? Am I leading my life purposefully? All right, so here are some events that inspired me to get into journaling. I began intentionally focusing on journaling more at work as I saw myself entering new environments, gaining new expectations, whether it's me still learning about what it means to be an employee, what does it mean for me to be in a new industry, because I feel like I'm still pretty new in technology, or what does it mean to be starting a new job, or being promoted to a new position. I always had things that I noticed that I needed to record in the future. Simply trusting in my head was not going to be a beneficial thing. As a psychology major in college, I know a lot about how people learn uniquely and with different learning styles. So there are 7 general styles to learning. Many of you may have heard about more of the sensory types, such as visual, auditory, kinesthetic, auditory, and verbal. There we go. And for me, I'm more of a verbal or visual learner as well as physical. So for me, it's like, maybe there's an error going on in our Docker container. You can tell me as high level as possible, but I really like it when I can see some charts, or maybe I can SSH and actually use my hands to get into it. So for me, that's why journaling feels so impactful, because it really leans against my learning styles. So heads up, this may not be for you, and that's okay. So for all my visual learners out there, can you get a yeah? And for all my kinesthetic people, yeah, this might be for you, so stick around. So let me go ahead and dive into my system of what I do. And I'm going to say right now, this is not something for you to just copy like word for word. All about journaling is that you're going to have different things that you want to track, and it may not be the same as what I do. It may change often, and that's okay also. So step one is to acquire a notebook that sparks joy. Anyone else been watching the Marie Kondo show? I am kind of obsessed with it, and I've just been going through and like finding joy with everything. I've got like a whole pile. So these are like all the notebooks I've used in the past year, and the bottom two rows are the things I've used most recently. The white notebook I started on when I got promoted to a new role, working in DevOps, and I was like, yeah, new notebook time. Get all my stickers out and decorate it. And then I started a new job. So then I got another new notebook and I started that up. So I usually just stick to one notebook for work, and then once it gets filled up or something exciting happens, then I'll start another one. But I keep it very separate from what I do personally. So for me, A5 Dotted Grid is my jam. Really, you can start on journaling in any capacity. I do have some notebooks for you all tonight, about maybe 5 or 6, so definitely talk to me afterwards, and maybe you can get started with this tomorrow. But yeah, it can be any type of paper. And so there are two things that I say are like the bare minimum that you want to get started with journaling, and that is having a table of contents and numbering your pages. And so this is a lot to, like, I'm going to buy a notebook, and it's like 300 pages long, and you want me to sit here and you want me to number all of them? No, not necessarily. You can definitely just start small and like just do the evens. Like do the first 25, 50 pages. But it's really important because when you're looking at this table of contents, you have a one-stop shop for seeing all the things that you've done, so you can go back to and refer it. It's not simply just, I'm writing these things out to write them, but I'm writing them to be able to have a reference and look back for it in the future. So I know this is probably hard for you all to see, but I have on here like the date of when a month starts, or when I go to different events, or if I'm doing some sort of training, I'm going to write this down and always have a reference about it. After that, it's really up to you what you want to do. So on this slide, I have a couple of different things that I've done. On the far left, I've created goals for what I wanted to do in the upcoming year. I made a spread of, I was like, I'm going to look at the next 3 years and know everything I want to do. I didn't really get a lot of work, but it was just, you could just trial and error it, right? I have a whole section here of ideas of what I want to talk about, and this is really fun to rediscover because I'm actually doing this one right now. Strategies I use for note-taking as a developer and how I do it day to day. And yeah, check it out. 1 minute. Okay. Yeah, so I have monthly spreads where I put in what's going on day to day. I also wanted to emphasize about what I do, having my own personal retrospective of kind of just doing that happy, mad, sad thing that a lot of people may know for my own like personal experience with work, either as a team, professional, personal stuff. And most of it is just like a daily stream of consciousness. I just write my date. I put in, what's going on. Usually starts off with some sort of question of like, I list like the method. It's like, what the heck is this? and I just try to figure it out. But ultimately, a lot of this is just a way to try to say, you know, I'm paying attention, I'm trying to learn about this stuff, and I'm iterating on it. So that last one, I was like, oh, this sounds fun, a whole bunch of different boxes. And then I tried again and I didn't fill it out at all. So let me just get through. Wow, I'm like really over this, I'm so sorry. It's really good also to talk about like how you're doing month to month. So that you kind of, a lot of this kind of leads up to being able to go back to those 3 key areas. And being able to have references to look back onto, like how is my team doing? If I'm required to give mid-year reviews and end-of-the-year reviews, you have a whole notebook of things that you can reference, and you can show them like, heck yeah, I crushed it. They may not feel like it all the time, but you know, you are doing stuff, you are doing your job, and if people aren't identifying that, then it's probably more them, or you are not expressing yourself enough also. So, I think that's my 1 minute. I will post these slides. If you want to come and talk to me, like I said, I have notebooks. Get a notebook, get some supplies. Don't do this. Don't do this. I mean, it's cool, it's cute. I sometimes try it myself, but you don't have to do that. Like, it can just be something really simple. It's just starting that one small thing. But thank you so much. And yeah.